gamers of Reddit, what video game made you emotional? This war of mine. You're not a superhero. You're just trying to survive in a war zone. I came on here to comment about that game. The part that really got me is when you go to this home and find an old couple living there. So, of course, you decide to take supplies because they are too old to fight back. All they do is follow you around begging you to stop. I did this and then went back to their home a few days later. Both of them were dead. I felt like a huge piece of shit. I went to a house with an older couple and their son. Saw that they had a lot of good stuff, so I came back with a character I'd feel less guilty murdering them and killed the son and dad. I looted as much as I could and was feeling pretty accomplished. But on my way out I found the mother sobbing over the body of her husband. She made no attempt to fight me, so I stepped over her and headed out. I felt so guilty about doing that I restarted the game before it could save and never went back there again. The game really makes you think about what you're willing to do for your own survival. Halo Reach. All the characters you begin to love throughout the campaign start dying one by one until you are the last one left. Then you die. Edit. Holy Suga, thank you guys, and thanks for the gold. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. I'm glad so many people enjoyed the story as much as I did, as it still is my favorite game. BioShock hit me pretty hard. Harvesting the girls to become much stronger or to save them and become a little more stronger. The ending made a difference as well. I saved all of the girls on my playthrough and it was tough, but I truly enjoyed it. Also, the idea of a utopia turned into a dystopia. Freedom from religion, politics and government made it into a damn fine game, and seeing what people did during the come up and downfall was pretty interesting. The ending made me change my mind about adoption. The part in Shadow of the Colossus, where aggro throws you to safety and then falls. The whole thing slowly becomes an emotional roller coaster. It's such a not but beautiful, beautiful game. Red Dead Redemption. That first ride into Mexico will make you feel something. The ending was probably the first time a video game made me feel that much. Forgive me for startling you, sir. I have a message for you. My name is Jack Marston. You knew my father. Apostrophe. Honest Hearts expansion for Fallout, New Vegas. There's a series of journal entries left behind by this dude, chronicling what happened to his first and then second family after the bombs fell. Just heartbreaking. Weirdly enough, Portal 2. It made me feel so alone. Then there was the reveal that, spoiler, GLaDOS used to be a human. W. Harloth had her consciousness put in a computer. Watching her realize that she used to be alive was emotionally intense for me. It was like watching a ghost wishing to be alive again. Had a little existential crisis regarding artificially sustained consciousness. Artificial intelligence. And immortality. Itty. Spec Ops, The Line. The white phosphorus guilt never leaves you. The first time I was ever emotionally affected by a video game was The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. I was about 14. Massive spoilers for a 20-year-old game follow. But you awake on an island with all sorts of interesting personalities, including families, parents, children, and a girl named Merrin. As you play the game, you realize that there's an entity called the Windfish that sleeps in an egg. If you want to leave the island, you have to wake up the Windfish. The problem is that the entire island is his dream, and when you awake the Windfish, the island will vanish. I was sitting church one day when I suddenly realized the ramifications of your quest. In order to escape, everyone on the island has to basically die. I didn't want everyone to die and almost quit the game right there so that everyone could keep on living. Journey gets me every time. I still remember the first time I completed this. I was violently sobbing for my companion. W. Harlot guided me throughout the whole American English. Never had such an incredible gaming experience. Nsem. Valiant Hearts, The Great War. Why? Email. Why? Such a good freaking game. I got this a few months ago on this box free games with gold expecting just some kitschy little indie game, man. Holy crap. It's so good and impactful. Borderlands 2, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. The cast of Borderlands playing Dungeons and Dragons should been a goofy light-hearted romp. And at first it is. But once Roland shows up, and you start to see how Tina is coping, or not coping, it starts to get entirely too real. The final scene makes me tear up every time I play through it. As a tabletop RPG nerd, I thought that Dragon Keep was going to be a fun romp combining two of my favorite things. I was not expecting that gut punch. I know. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. I know. But it's my story. I forgot how the DLC made me feel until I read your last sentence. It killed me a little on the inside. Borderlands 2 when Jack kills Bloodwing and Mordecai goes on a rage-fueled rampage obliterating everything in sight. After playing Borderlands 1 before 2 it really adds to the emotion because you spent so much time with Roland and the rest of the OG team. Persona 4. It's a little cheesy now, but at the time that I played it, so much of it resonated with me. Now, it's not cheesy. Part of what got to me was the way they emphasized acknowledging your unpleasant sides and driving home the fact that there were people out there that could witness that and still care for you when you're someone that constantly represses themselves because you're convinced nobody will like you if they get to know the real, ugly you. That's a pretty powerful and hopeful message. This was exactly it for me. Personal issues put me in a position where I'd spent so much time in social solitude, and my true self was / is kind of depressing. Persona 4's characters, and as cliche as it is, the power of their friendship pulled me in and made me feel like they were my friends. I wanted people W Harlot told accept me for W Harlot I was too. I do say it's a little cheesy because I started playing P4G again for the platinum, and some of the dialogue sticks out near the beginning. Also for power of friendship reasons. Sons. Gears of War 2. Dom's wife. Also when you break Ty out and think hell yeah we found Ty. Time to fudge these grubs up now and toss him the shotgun. And then, well you know, edited for spelling / grammar. That traumatized me when I was a teen. Ty's personality was also so strong and dependable. He was inviolable. They tortured him so badly that he felt he had to kill himself. Fudgeth had stuck with me. Halo 3. That game was some of the best times in my life. Between Halo 2 and 3 I would not be surprised if I logged close to a year's worth of real hours playing them. According to my page on Bungie I first played online December 31st. 2004 and last played August 8th, 2010. My social life in middle and high school was Halo and all the people I met online. It was pretty great. That's exactly how I am. All of middle school and the beginning of high school Halo was everything for me. The game brought me the spectacular places. I still play Halo 3 every now and again cause Master Chief Collection just doesn't do it for me. Unless I just want core Halo gameplay, but just menus of regular Halo 3 is just tear inducing. To the moon. Goddamn that game made me ball at 3 AM. And then stay up and learn to play forever on my keyboard till like 5 AM. The ending made me feel happy and at peace. And a sort of big sigh of relief amongst tears. Owlboy as well. I felt for Otis so much throughout the whole game. Just wanted to protect the little guy throughout. Feeling the unfairness but also infinite gratitude for those W Harlots stand beside you. A very real reminder to me that I'm not alone in my struggles. Ori and the Blind Forest. Est. Or it's a cute little platform. Oh no. The definitive edition added even more feelings too. 2. There is an acute feeling of nostalgia and homesickness for a home that was never yours in those extra levels. Else, trying to dig out memories out of a place that seems to want to resist your very presence. Portal 2. When you go through the old Aperture facilities. That part made me feel so utterly and terribly alone and out of place. Like I was going through a section of history I wasn't supposed to be going through. The old experiments. The slow realization of W Harlot exactly GLaDOS was, and more so, what she is when attached to the Aperture facility. In Bastion there is a choice regarding Zulf at the very end. I carried that pose on my back all the way with eyes tearing up, so I couldn't see where I was going. I just couldn't leave him. I loved how they just stopped shooting at you and watched you leave. Very moving. The one that got me was when the boss leader killed the last guy still shooting at you. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.